Hi everyone, thanks for taking the time to watch this channel. It really is appreciated. I actually stopped painting around 10 years ago because I just didn't get the time to paint. I decided recently to take up the old brushes again and start painting again. So I thought I'd set up this channel to see how I get on and hopefully have some fun with it, and hopefully inspire some of you to pick up your brushes too, and we'll see how we get on. I have put a few basic videos on YouTube, just sort of slideshows really. So what I'm going to do today is show you how to varnish a painting and what varnish I use. And I'm using two recent paintings from a few weeks ago. You can actually view their slideshows on YouTube. I'll put the links down below. One of them is called Sly Old Fox, and I'll show you it now. And the other one is called Skull and Crossbones. No, it's not. It's actually called Skull and Dragon. Hello. The varnish I'll be using is called Gamvar, and I'll just show you now. It's actually Gamvar Matte, which is the one I prefer. Right, the first thing you want to do is give the paintings a good old brush down. You don't want any bits of fluff or any bits of rubbish on there, because once you start varnishing it's going to be too late to get them off. So keep it as clean as possibly can. The varnish I'm using is called Gamvar. You can order it online quite easily. The reason I'm using it is because, you know, it's a real good quality varnish, and it can be applied once the thickest part of the paint is dry and firm to the touch, so it saves a lot of time wasting. The version I'm going to use is matte, but it does come in matte, satin or gloss. I just prefer matte because it's not too shiny. It's just my own preference, but all the variations protect and bring out the colours of the paintings very nicely. You want to give the bottle a real good shaking to make sure it's mixed in nicely. You know, some people pour this straight onto the painting. I don't agree with that. I put it into a little tray so that I can use it sparingly as I need to, because you really need to apply this thinly, otherwise you'll have all sort of complications afterwards. Just a word of warning as well, this stuff is quite toxic, so you want to use in a well ventilated room, and make sure you wear some gloves. Once you've got your glove on and you're all protected, pour a small amount into this tray. You really need just a small amount because it goes on forever, it goes miles. As you can see, this is just a small amount. The 8.5 ounce bottle that I'm using, which is only a small bottle, can go as far as 160 square feet. You want to use good quality brushes. I've got a 75mm just a decorator's brush, and also a number 12 crimson and Blake brush. I'll probably just use the 75mm, that should be sufficient. To start, you just want to come in 2 or 3 inches, probably 3 inches in from the sides, and dab a little small amount on there, not too much because you don't want it too thick, and then just feather it out in each direction, you know, trying to keep it very thin. I use just small strokes to make sure you're getting all the little crevices, you know, so you get a nice even coat. When you get to the point where your varnish doesn't spread out anymore, just dab another little bit 2 or 3 inches away from that, and then spread it out all over again. Keep it nice and thin. If you don't keep it thin, you'll get all sorts of problems with raised areas, blotches, so just keep it thin. The normal drying time for this is roughly 18 to 24 hours. If you do it too thick, it's going to take so much longer to dry, and when it does finally dry, it could be tacky forever. If unfortunately you do have that problem, you can buy some Gamvar, which will take the excess varnish off. Now this stuff dries pretty rapid, so you want to get it on pretty quickly. It gets tacky after about 15 minutes. You want to try not to overbrush because that will just reduce the shine or the gloss. Once you've got the crevices and the edges done, you can start using longer strokes just to keep it nice and smooth. And as you can see, the colours coming out nice and rich now. A good idea is to have a piece of tissue handy, and you can dab the brush onto the tissue to keep taking the excess off. And as you brush it over the painting and spread it more, you can keep dabbing it and it takes the excess off. As you can see, it's all done. It's only took a couple of minutes, and I think it's looking pretty gorgeous as far as a ugly skull can look. I'm just going to swap the paintings, and still using the same tray, I'm going to start working on the sly old fox. I've just done 2 nice sized paintings here, and I've still got a little bit left over. Once you feel you've finished, tip the paintings into the light, because that way you can see if you've missed anything or any blemishes. You know, I can see that I've missed a couple of bits here, so I'm just touching them up and smoothing them out. Right, that's all done now. Just make sure, obviously when you're finished, you wash your hands because of the toxins. Another great thing about this Gamvar is you don't need to clean your brushes. You just leave them to dry and they clean themselves. I'll just show you what it looks like. I'm sure you'll agree it looks quite nice. It will need a second coat in a couple of days' time, but I'm pretty happy with that. Well, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I just want to show you what my next video will be about. It's this painting of some horses that I did about 15 years ago, and I'm really not happy with it. Actually, I'm quite happy with the horses, although I'm sure I can improve on them, but I'm really not happy with the rest of the picture, the background, the trees. I'm really not sure of what or how I'm going to change the background yet. So hopefully it'll be a nice surprise for me and for you. So please keep an eye open for it in the next few weeks. If you've got any ideas, then just let me know. You can contact me on the details below. Thanks for watching again, and take care. See you soon.